Hi, this is Julian from Luminatic.com. Today I want to show you how I edited an image, and this is the final image. So what we see is my bike with me in the middle. It's my red Triumph Tiger 1050, and it's on an asphalted road, and it was obviously taken with a drone. I've got a DJI Mavic 2 Pro drone, and this is the image I had in mind. Symmetry, richly blossoming field of rape. So it's this time of the year when the rape fields are blossoming. And the problem was that I couldn't find a location like this because everything I could find was this. This is the original image. Usually between the road and the field there are a few meters of grass. This is actually a moat, a small ditch, and there was nothing I could find with such a nice road that was actually close to the fields. So, and also nothing with fields to both sides. So I had to call in Photoshop to the rescue, and I want to show you how I did this. So the first thing I did in Lightroom is to modify the color a little. So I am going to take this back. This was original. So I increased the saturation of the yellow a little and tinted it a little bit into the orange to make it a little more lively and a little bit more vivid. Don't overdo it, then it looks artificial. I wanted to get rid of it. It's got a slightly green hue, and this should be erased by giving it a little orange tint, just a tad. Okay, that looks right. So that's everything I can do in Lightroom, and now I'm going to go to Photoshop and edit the image there. There are two things I want to do. First of all, I want to bring the field closer to the bike so that there's only a very narrow strip of green, and of course the field should also be on the other side. This is a pretty simple and straightforward edit, and now I'm going to show you how I did this. So at first I'm choosing the selection tool, and I'm going to take this area here. I'm copying it with Command C, Command V. Then we've got another layer which only includes this area I selected. And this area now has to be moved because I want to bring it closer to the road. So I'm just taking this part here with the move tool and simply drag it downwards. So you might notice that between the road and the green grass there is a slight orangey yellow rim. That's where the grass is dying because it doesn't get enough water. This is a natural border, and you should keep that. So I'm moving this down a little, and you can see here that I got a very straight line here because the straightly cut and selected area from the original image, the copy here, overlaps the natural selection here with the grass. So what I'm going to do is use the eraser tool, make it a little smaller, and use a very low softness. So this is the hardness, so 0 hardness is it's very soft. And now I'm brushing away a little bit here on the rim, just to make the yellow border, as to say, a little bit more visible. This is a destructive way of editing, so I'm deleting the part. It's gone. There's also another way, which I will show you in a minute, which is working with masks, with layer masks. But first of all, you might notice I moved this selection, and now here is a gap. But the underlying pattern of the original image fills this wonderfully, so there is no border you can really see. I'm switching this copied section on and off, and you really can't see where the first image starts and the other one ends. So first half of the image, I'd say, is okay. So all I have to do now is copy this part here and put it in the bottom half. To combine everything, I'm making, I'm using Command and E to combine the two layers which I have. So now this is one image, and I can now select this part here. Let's take a part of the road with us. Also Command C, Command V, and now you've got a selection of the whole field here. And now you've got to flip it or to rotate it and bring it downwards. So the way to do this is you go here, Edit, Transform, Rotate by 180 degrees. Now it's upside down and I'm moving it downwards. You could also flip it, but this would create a symmetrical pattern, which I don't like that much. Because you see there are 3 darker spots here, and if I'd have mirrored this part, then they'd also be like here, and it would look a little artificial, because if the eye recognizes a slight pattern here and it's mirrored, then it's really the human eye sees it quite quickly. So I rotated it so that it's not a mirrored image. So now what we can see is this looks fairly well already, but as you can see, this part of the road is a little darker. So when I'm switching this on and off, you see in this area that you have a stripe here, an artificial stripe. And I think it would be a good idea to delete this. So I'm using my eraser tool again. No, I wanted to show you layer masks. So what I did up here is erasing, and erasing means the information is gone, it's lost, it's deleted. And what I'm going to do now is apply a layer mask. This is done by clicking here on this icon at the bottom. And you see this white blank screen here. And this is a mask which determines what you can see and what you can't see. White means you can see through, and black means you make the stuff that lies underneath transparent. And I'm showing you how this works. I'm selecting the brush tool by hitting B, and I'm selecting, oh, this is way too big. This is too small. This should be okay. And the way this works is I've got the black color here. And now I'm painting, make sure you are in the layer mask here. And now I'm starting to paint. This is just a demo in the layer mask. And as you can see, what I'm painting here becomes transparent in the image, in the layer mask is bound to. And this is a way you can blend different layers together and make some parts invisible, others visible, and so on. And I want to undo this, and you can simply do this by erasing. Again, make sure you're in the layer mask, and then you erase the layer here, and you can see the black part here is vanishing. And this is the image again. So what I wanted to do is I want to get rid of this section here, which is a darker stripe. And again, I'm going to the brush tool. I've selected black color. And now I'm going to paint the area I don't want to see in black. As you can see here, on the layer mask, a small stripe occurs. That's where you paint it with black. And now you can delete or make the stuff invisible you don't want to see. The big advantage of this is, as I already said, it's non-destructive. Meaning, if you do a mistake or after a while you realize, I would like to display this and I shouldn't have deleted it, then with the layer mask you can just erase the part in the layer mask and you will see it again. So there is no, nothing is lost, it's just hidden. Okay, this looks okay. I think the lower half is a little bit thicker than the top half. Might be, I don't know if my eyes are cheating me, so I'm just moving this a little bit more up. So now I'm selecting the layer here with the bottom field, and I've selected the move tool again, and by using the cursor Here I'm moving this a little bit more upward so that the yellow comes a little bit more towards the road here. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm just checking if there are some overlaps somewhere here. There's the yellow stuff is a little bit hidden. So I'm going back to the layer mask to correct this. Again, the brush tool in black, and now I'm painting in the layer mask to get rid of some of the grass here. Okay, that looks good. So that's already 98% of the edit. What I'm going to do now are some minor touch-ups. For this I'm creating a new layer. I'm calling this layer touch-up. And I'm using you can use the healing tool or where is it here? The healing patch tool or the brush tool, the cloning tool. The healing patch tool basically works, you paint the area you want to get rid of, and an algorithm determines the best pattern to go in there. By the way, I'm using Photoshop CS6, so it's an older version, but still capable of doing 100,000 times more than I'm capable of using. So it's a very powerful tool, and it's also in the newer versions, of course. Okay, healing tool. So now I'm marking the part I don't want. As I said, here are 3 patterns which repeat because I've mirrored, I've switched this layer, I've rotated it, and now I'm getting rid of this to eliminate all hints for the human eye that this bottom part has been actually copied down. So this looks quite good, and now I'm trying to clean the road a little because this is agricultural road, so these are dirt spots which a tractor left. Okay, here you can see the deficiencies of this tool, so it doesn't work perfectly. The algorithm tries to find the best pattern to put as a patch on this, but I don't like this. I'm going to erase this again, and I'm using the clone tool. So cloning, basically the name says it, you specify an area which is the source. You do this by hitting the Alt key, and then this becomes a small hair cross, and then you specify the area you want to clone from, let's say here, and then you move the cursor to, or the mouse to, the area you want to clone, and then you can copy it. And I'm trying to get rid of this thing here. Yeah, this is good. And this takes a little practice. Basically what you have to do, you have to constantly find a new reference point and start cloning from there. It takes a little practice because if you don't do it correctly, then you will get repetitive patterns, cloning patterns, and the trained eye of fellow photographers will always see those. So I'm trying to do my best as I'm speaking here. Men are not so capable of multitasking, I've heard, so speaking and retouching is a little bit challenging. Trying to keep it in such a fashion that it looks natural, and piece by piece I'm cleaning. This wasn't good. I'm cleaning up this piece of road. I'm not very systematic, as I just realized, so I should go from left to right, and or from right to left to make this a little bit more consistent. Okay, this one I don't like. This is where 2 strips of asphalt meet, and so I'm trying to clone this away by using this here. Okay. As you can see, bit by bit the road becomes a little cleaner, and it's tedious work. And also if you overdo it, then you can have these repetitive patterns. So here, for example, it looks a little artificial because I cloned too much. But since this is only a demo video, I'm doing this only quick and dirty to show you how this is done in general. Okay, good. This you have to be careful to not to get these dark light and dark changes, like here, for example. Then it quickly looks artificial. Perhaps I can edit this a little bit better. Okay, there's a small spot I want to get rid of. Yep. Okay, this perhaps here. Okay. Yeah, I'm fairly happy. Now, all I can do now is to add some more color, and this is done by, I've already done this in Lightroom, but let's see what I can do here. So I'm going to do an adjustment layer, which is done by this icon. Now you've got all kinds of adjustment layers, and the one we are going for is, what is it in English? Hue saturation. And here you can change the overall tone of the image, and I don't want that because I want to edit only special colors. And first one is the red. And in this image we only have one red part, which is, oops, what did I do here? Cloning tool is still active. And I want to highlight the bike a little, so I'm taking selecting the red tones. Again, sorry, this is in German. Red tones, and I'm pimping the saturation a little. Okay, going to the maximum values, and as you can see in the road there's also some hints of red. So what I'm going to do is now pimp the red here a little, and as you can see on the road there's already the improved red showing here, and we can adjust this with a layer mask, which has been wonderfully already created here. So I'm going to the brush tool, and I don't want these red areas here, and I'm taking a brush with black, and I'm going to paint the area here in the mask. And as you can see, these parts here which have been red now vanish, because the effect of the adjustment layer is removed from this part. I think I got the bike at a little, yeah, okay. So the bike pops now quite well. Screencasting is fun. Okay, that looks good. Other one, let's see what I can do to the yellow tones. This is already a very strong yellow. Okay, let's play around. Okay. Ooh, oh, that looks terrible. Saturation, that's a little bit too much. A little bit more, why not? Brightness, let's keep it like this. Okay, and I also induced a little bit of orange, but we don't have orange here. So let's see if I can switch this a little to the okay. And with this here, with this these bars here, I can determine which color range I'm going to edit, and I'm trying to shift this a little more to the orange. Actually, I'm trying as I'm speaking at the moment. Photoshop is, I think, a task for lifetime. You will never know everything, and it's often try and error. And I'm not the biggest Photoshop guru, but I think I can do a little, but there are many people who are way more proficient with this. So I'm also basically trying a lot, and not really knowing what I do, and seeing where it leads. Okay, now this is okay. Okay, I'm happy with this. So this is the final image. We've got a wonderfully symmetrical field and a red bike in the middle, and this is something I'm very happy with. It was a cloudy day, a little rainy, so I expected some sun, or I hoped for some sun, which wasn't there, but the image came out well, and I'm very happy. So, hope you learned something, and if you enjoy this, please comment and tell me. You can request what I should edit next, or what I should explain. If I can explain it, I will do this. Then, thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye.